What's up? Today, we're going to talk about what sound system you should buy. Now, I'm going to try to start from like lowest price to highest price. So it kind of will go through every spectrum and every range. I have a personal like middle ground that I've been using a lot that I'm going to recommend to you guys towards the end. But I kind of want to show you guys all of the ones that I've used and the ones that I think work the best for each price point. And then you guys can make a decision based off of how much money you got in the bank and how much you want to spend on PA. So first up, we have the Mackie Thump powered speaker. I have actually seen these and heard these at a few venues where I've done weddings before in the past. And this is a great budget option. The output is almost similar to all of the other top of the line tops that you usually see from Qsc, JBL, stuff like that, EV as well. But it's only $300, and two of these have a really, really solid output. So if you're just starting out and you're looking for a budget option, I definitely recommend the Mackie Thump for sure. My only thing with these speakers is that on the backside here, there's no EQ control really. They kind of just have their speaker modes, and then you just select between them, and that's it. And you have like your gain adjustment. There's no sort of personal adjustments that you can make, and these EQ curves kind of are a little bit weird, but you know, hey, it's a budget option, so I do think it's definitely a good purchase for sure. I definitely would recommend it, but you don't have the same level of control that you will with the other higher end of the spectrum speakers. Next up in terms of price is the actual EV speaker, the 12-inch powered speaker. It does have Bluetooth capability as well, which is pretty nice. I've never really used the Bluetooth on this, but I have used these in the past, and there's a really good balanced, clean sound that comes out of the speaker. So I really like them personally. I also like that it has the like digital interface on the back, the DSP, so that you can adjust the EQ curves how you see fit. That's a big make or break for me with a lot of speakers when I'm buying them. So it allows me to control the audio that's actually outgoing out of the speaker. It also has an auxiliary in. So if you're, let's say you just are trying to do like an aux in and you have like a wedding playlist or a cocktail hour, buying a small speaker like a 10 or a 12 inch of this is a great option for you, because you could just aux in, or you can use the Bluetooth capability, and then you could just play something off of your phone, and then you can go about whatever else you have to do. Next up, we have my personal favorite, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, might recommend it at the end to you guys, is the Turbo Sound series. I've had these speakers for a while now. I actually ordered some more, and these are fantastic. If you're a DJ, I think this is a good speaker to go with. It's in that middle price point, has a great output, has a ton of control, okay? So it has the digital interface, which is fantastic. You can even create your own presets. You can do your own like user adjustments. So some of them have their curves that you can adjust, and they're kind of just like set, like, all right, you do one in 100 hertz, 80 hertz, roll off, whatever. With these, I actually have my own like personal user presets that I've made for different types of situations, and it's fantastic. I love using these for a reception, a corporate event, anything that I have going on. These are my go-to speakers always. Next up, we have the Qsc brand. Okay, obviously Qsc is very noteworthy. It's well known, very established brand, but their prices are just so high for what you're getting. I do think they are a little more quality than the Turbo Sound for sure. They're definitely top of the line when it comes to the actual like PA and audio side of things as a brand. I think they even have a more clear sound on the higher end of a speaker. If you put a Qsc next to a Turbo Sound, I really think, from my ear at least, you're getting a better sound on those high, mid-high, and high frequencies. They're going to be more clear than a Turbo Sound. On the back side of the speaker here, you have your DSP also, which is really nice. Your gain controls, your standard XLR, dual jack, quarter-inch in as well. And then you also have an auxiliary input on here, which is really nice. So you could even set this up for a playlist if you just want to with your phone. Just pop an aux cable in there, pop whatever in is your phone, and then you can just either put your phone on the side here or on the top, and you can just leave it there for however long you need to based off the playlist. Next up, we have an actual newer model that came out. It's actually, I think it's a couple years old now, to be honest, but this is the Bose. If you have a really high budget and you're looking to spend money and have another level of control on top of what I've already been talking about in this video with the DSP settings and EQ curves, this is definitely something that is, I don't want to say like cutting edge, but it really has like kind of shaken things up for me and how I view how speakers are made. The speaker, as you can see, it kind of has this like wedge almost to it, like this slant. So when you actually get the speaker, where's the picture here? Yeah. So there, you get the speaker, it's your standard flat look like this over here, but then you can actually adjust the panels of the speaker itself to direct where the sound's going. So if you do like a C pattern, you can get almost that line array, like full half circle. I guess I should not do it like this, You can get that like half circle, so it goes up, forward, and down as well. And you can see in the picture here, it addresses everything. So if you're giving a presentation, these speakers are amazing. A concert, you can adjust the sound and you can change the direction. Instead of having a flat speaker that you're kind of just turning on a speaker stand, this has that perfect curve that you can then adjust. And that's what you're paying for, honestly, with the speaker. It's fantastic. The output matches up with all the other ones, but the difference maker is that you can change the direction of your sound in a way that a lot of people couldn't beforehand. Actually, taking a look at the back of the speaker now, I totally blanked. I actually made a goof here. So the input of the speaker is standard, obviously, but the EQ itself only has 2 settings. So it doesn't have that DSP option that the QSC and the Turbo Sound did, where you can adjust your EQ curves how you want. You either just have your full range or you have the designed curve that's with the sub. So if you buy the sub that's paired with this, you can just set it like that, and it already probably has an 100 hertz rollover between the two, which is nice. But like I said, you get more control with the QSC and the Turbo Sound with that like DSP, like digital adjustment EQ interface, which is super nice. Next up, I want to talk about trends with speakers that I've seen recently. A lot of people are buying the column speakers. That seems to be like all the rage right now. So the top of the line is the Electro Voice, the EV system, the portable column speaker. That's why it's the $1,300 option. It's fantastic. I see people with it all the time. If you have the money for it and you're a wedding DJ and it's top of the line, it's about as good as it's going to get, to be honest, when it comes to these things. They look clean. If you're really into the look of a DJ setup, the Electro Voice, like the EV option, is great. And the back is a standard IEC, and it just looks amazing with a DJ setup. And you can actually take it apart too. You can see here there's the 4 sections. There's the 2 bars, the speaker, and then the sub that's with it. So you can actually deassemble this. Deassemble. Words are hard today. You can take this apart with ease, and then it makes it easier for you to be a DJ on the move. So if you're a wedding DJ and you have the money for this, even if you do corporate events and you're just like a portable DJ, this is a really solid investment for you. Now, before I hop into these subwoofers, I just want to say if you're doing smaller events, like let's say 100 to 200 people, maybe even 250 to 300, this might be a little bit of a controversial take, but if you buy a 15-inch to 18-inch speaker, you don't need to buy a subwoofer. You don't need it, okay? It's nice, it sounds good, and it's going to sound better, and it's going to have more of that rumble that you're looking for, and it's going to look cooler. But in terms of sound covering a space and for that size of an audience, you only need 2 15-inch tops, maybe 18-inch, depending on what you're doing. And if you just allow the sub to come through that, it's going to cover enough. People get so obsessed with like the overall wattage and how much boom, like does it make my chest shake like when the sub hits and stuff like that. Like, okay, we're not at Coachella, like let's all just calm the fuck down here. So first we have the JBLs, which are always great. I've used the SRX series. So where is that? It's this. So this is a dual 18-inch sub. It's bumping, and it's a solid price point. The reason why I didn't pick the solo one and I picked the dual one is because the solo one is $1,700 and the dual one is $2,200. So you're saving a bunch of money if you buy the dual 18-inch, to be honest. It has a lot of great features too. It has the DSP, like the digital interface, super nice. The only thing is that this thing is heavy as 145 pounds. It's not exactly light for a DJ to carry. That's why there's 2 handles on each side. So it's a 2-person lift. So if you're flying solo to a gig, you can do this with a dolly for sure, but the older you get, I wouldn't recommend buying this sub for sure. It's fantastic. I think it's one of the best subs you can buy, but in terms of like moving and manpower, it's not necessary. Next up, we're going to have the Qsc Sub. They're fantastic. They sound great. They have everything that you're looking for in a sub, to be honest. They have that interface, that DSP, like I've always been talking about, standard IEC power, classic ins with the gain control also. But the price. But $1,700 for this. I mean, you could buy how many Mackie Thumps for $1,700? Like you could buy, what, 6, and you would just barely go over that price. And then the last sub that we have, hint, hint, wink, wink, is the Turbo Sound. This is the 18-inch. Very similar output to the Qsc Sub, but it's only $1,000. And it has everything that the Qsc had on the backside as well. It still has that standard DSP, and it even has the custom presets that you can design yourself to customize your sound. So to box this all up and put a bow on it, I'm going to give you guys 2 recommendations here. So I'm going to give you the recommendation for the corporate wedding side of things, and then I'll give you a recommendation for more of the concert club bar style. So honestly, when it comes to the wedding corporate side of things, I think anything EV is a great option. This is, like I said, $450. It's a little bit pricier than the Mackie Thump. So if you're really going on a budget, you could definitely do that. But the EV has a great design, looks really clean. They're pretty light actually for what they are. So it's not crazy for like a portable DJ. And it has that auxiliary in, which is super nice, especially if you're just running a playlist for like a cocktail hour in any sort of corporate or wedding event. This is great just to stick in the corner. And I mean, if you buy a larger version of it, like the 15-inch, you can fill up a solid like 100-person, 150-person reception pretty easy. And if you're really trying to spend the money, my definite recommendation is the top of the line EV, the portable custom tower. I don't have these personally right now, but I know every top wedding DJ has these right now. They're really easy to take apart, put together. I've never heard a bad thing said about these things. People love this speaker and sub pair to death. If you buy 2 of these, it's only $2,600, and you could probably get them for a deal, to be honest. If you pair them together, you could probably get it for closer to like $25. So it balances out. I mean, you get 2 tops and 2 subs for a solid price, and it looks very clean. And it comes in the black and white option too. So the black, I think, is a little bit cheaper. Oh, no, about the same price. But they're fantastic, and it definitely has everything you're looking for that corporate and wedding market. Now, when it comes to the college club bar side of things, I'm going to go with my bread and butter, my favorite, the Turbo Sound series. So if you're looking for anything with a high output, and if you're a DJ, I think you should be going with Turbo Sound. For sure. I think it's a good price point. I think it has all the things you're looking for with the EQ capabilities, and the rollover and crossover is fantastic, especially if you just mount a speaker on top of the sub with the poles, which is what I usually do. You put 2 subs on each side with the 2 tops. It is bumping. If you're looking for output and your client's looking for output and you're looking for something that's going to deliver every single time and is battle tested, definitely go with Turbo Sound for sure. Alrighty, ladies and gents, that does it for me today. Hopefully you learned something new. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I actually want to get some guests on here to talk more about their wedding setups and different products that they use, because this is a broad stroke assessment of things that I've used and things that I've seen and heard. But I would really like to get someone on here that knows the EV columns. You know, I'm not getting paid by any company to say any of this stuff. I mean, it would be great to land a Qsc sponsorship. I mean, that would be fantastic, but let's all be realistic here. I would love to get some sort of like rep from like a sound or a tech company on like here just to talk about their products and stuff like that. I think they could give obviously a better description of it. And I think it would be really good for you guys to get the detailed analysis. And if we can get like one of each, that would just be like amazing, because then everyone has a place for them to go to, and then they can analyze each product based off of each video. Hope you guys enjoyed your holidays, and if you're still on holiday, make sure to take it easy, relax, enjoy your time off, and I'll be back soon with another video.